Hi, I'm Desiree Hadley,
And I'm Crystal Rosa.
and welcome to another episode of Hold the Line with Mayor Ras J. Baraka. How are you, Mayor?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good. So today we're going to discuss the Guaranteed Income Program, PopUp vaccination sites. We're going to have a COVID check-in. We're going to also discuss the differently able vaccination site and educate the block if we have time. Crystal, would you like to start?
Mayor, exciting news this week with the launch of the Guaranteed Income Pilot Program called the Newark Movement for Economic Equity. Let me just give a little bit of background for those of you who are tuning in. We will be providing a guaranteed income to Newark residents, starting with 30 Newark residents for this pilot program and adding 400 more participants by the fall of 2021. Over a 2-year period, half of the participants will be receiving $500 a month, and the other half will be receiving 4 lump sum payments over a 2-year period. The recipients here are not being told how to spend their money, and there's no strings attached. Why the push for a guaranteed income?
Well, I think this is not a novel idea. It's something that people have been talking about for decades. I mean, on both sides of the political spectrum, people like Martin Luther King, the Black Panther Party, Milton Friedman, from Democrats to Republicans, for various reasons. But I think fundamentally people think that there needs to be certain kind of resources that people have, all families, so they won't fall into dire straits. And we believe that a cash payment without any strings attached is the best way to do that. The same way people are getting these stimulus checks throughout the pandemic. And if they just continued that, then this would satisfy it.
What are we doing with the results at the end of the 2-year period? Like, what are the next steps after that?
We're compiling them with, the National Mayors for Guaranteed Income, who are doing it all over the country. We're compiling that data together to put together a federal argument about why this is necessary, how it works, give them real data, anecdotal information about why we need to continue to do this even after the pandemic is over. We need to continue this.
Do you think support for the Guaranteed Income Program has grown due to the pandemic?
Sure. When we first started, there may be in a dozen cities that were in it. Right now, there's well over 50 cities who have joined on to this mayor's challenge for guaranteed income. I think nationally, people are calling for the stimulus checks to be continued. There are a couple of bills in the House that are being sponsored to do this, so I think it's gaining momentum.
All right, so Newark is one of 22 programs of the Guaranteed Income being launched nationwide. What makes Newark's pilot unique from others?
Well, we are mixing up how we give the money. So we're doing it, some people are getting it in lump sum, some people are getting it monthly. We are focusing on folks that are needed in terms of housing. We're doing that. We have a very specific focus because housing is an issue in the state, is an issue in Newark. And we want to make sure that we target those families who need that the most.
So if it is permanently funded, will the amount of people that are eligible increase?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now there's a pilot. What we're trying to do is get the federal government to do it for everybody that's eligible. Yeah.
I have a basic question here. So for people who may be a little confused, what would be the difference between guaranteed income and the basic income program that has been discussed before?
Yeah, the universal basic income, that's something that's getting traction because of Andrew Yang's presidential run, and I believe he's running for mayor in New York City. The difference really is that guaranteed income is targeted, cash to people who need it,
right,
as opposed to universal basic income. And that goes to everybody. And it's based on this idea that, people are going to be, outsourced work is going to be more technological, jobs are going to be lost. We believe that the system has deep inequity in it, and people before technology were in bad situations and they need this money. And there are people who need it more than others, and we want to target them.
Can you let us know how the recipients are being selected for the program?
Yeah, it's random. We're using a university to help us create the system to pick people randomly in the city based on specific criteria that we give them.
With the guaranteed income program in Newark, would you expect for the population to increase? People may want to move here. Would it be make Newark more attractive to people who may be looking to like look for a city on the East Coast to move to? Is that something that you?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I don't think so. I think people, for $500 a month or whatever. I mean, I think people will be interested in what's going on, and maybe they'll try to get their local folks to do the same thing, which is what we want to happen.
Right.
We want that to happen all over the country. We want cities to be a part of the mayor's task force of guaranteed income, and you should ask your mayor if you're in another city to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor, where are the funds for this program coming from?
Right now, most of it is private funds from foundations and private philanthropic donors.
So the other 400 participants have not been selected yet. Applications reopen in July. Follow norcequity.org for more information. Also follow Newark Equity on Twitter and Instagram, and follow our City of Newark social media pages for updates.
So Mayor, this month in May marked the 1-year anniversary of when we introduced the first COVID-19 pop-up testing site here in the city. And today, your administration is introducing the pop-up vaccination site. What is one outcome you wish to see come from these pop-up vaccination sites?
Well, actually, we started vaccinating maybe a couple of weeks or so before today, but we want to see these vaccination sites target neighborhoods that are hard to vaccinate or people who are not getting vaccinated. Mm-hmm. And we want them to walk up and do it. There's no registration. You can just walk up and get a vaccination right there on the spot. We're giving out food. We're doing everything else there. So it's a multifaceted site. But you have the ability to walk up without a registration.
Mayor, why is it necessary? Why is it important to bring these vaccination sites into the neighborhoods in a city like Newark?
Because listen, if folks are hesitant, they're not going to get on a bus or catch a cab across town to get a vaccine that they have to register for online and possibly wait in line for 30, 40 minutes to get a vaccine. It's not going to happen. There's so many barriers in the way for people who are hesitant. And so it should be easier for folks who might have a little trepidation, just come out their house, walk down the street, get vaccinated on their way to work, on their way from work. And make it as easy as possible.
Last week, we hosted a pop-up vaccination site for our differently abled community. Is the city planning on hosting more of these?
Yeah, we're going to do more vaccination pop-up sites. We're doing everything there. We have music, we have food, we have, many different things that people could, information that we're passing out. So people can come there and be involved in what's going on in the community and get a vaccine while you're at it, and get tested, by the way.
Why was it important to host a special vaccination site for people with disabilities?
Well, I think that we need to target, just like we target homebound seniors and folks who can't come out of their house. Right. We need to target special populations of people who may have additional barriers to get vaccinated. So to provide a little equity, we go to those folks and create opportunities so they can get vaccinated. Where we have regular general vaccination sites may not cater to them immediately.
So let's do a COVID check-in. So with the vaccine becoming more readily available, obviously, can we expect for restrictions to be a little more relaxed as we move into the summer months this year?
Yeah, as long as the numbers are going down. I mean, that'll dictate everything, and it has for us. I mean, our test positivity rate is as low as it's ever been. So we are moving in the right direction, and if we continue that, many things will be able to open up.
Right. So the students will be out of school. Will the city be opening up rec centers for children? Will there be summer youth recreation programs?
Yep, we are doing all of those things as safely as we can. Yeah. We're going to be opening up the pools this summer. The rec centers will be back open. Some of the summer programs that we have will begin happening. All of this is getting kids ready for September, because school will probably be open.
And what is one piece of advice you can give parents as a parent yourself? What is one piece of advice you can give parents going into
Well,
the summer?
talk to your kids about being cautious when they go. You know, the normal things that they usually do, hug, touch, all of those other kind of things. Make sure that they're washing their hands, that they are not around people they don't know in groups and packs. And, that's what I would do. And check the places out that they're going to go hang out. Like
Right.
if they're going to go to the rec center, come to the rec center and see for yourself and see if the city is doing the right job to keep everybody safe. If they're not, report it.
Educate the Block, has now replaced Occupy the Block, happening twice weekly, right?
Yeah.
So can you explain just what can residents expect at Educate the Block? What's the difference between Educate the Block and Occupy the Block?
Well, there's only really the real difference is maybe we're passing out more information as it relates to COVID and vaccinations and all these other kind of things that are going on related to COVID, whether it's money for rent, businesses, all of that stuff. We'll have that information out there. Occupy the Block, it still has the fundamental basis where it's going to be out there: fire, police, sanitation, code enforcement, water, sewer, all of the city services will be out there present. People can talk to them, see what's going on, make complaints about issues that are happening in their community. And it gives us an opportunity to be in that neighborhood, and all the elements that you don't want in the neighborhood is a time for them to leave and an opportunity for us to come.
All right. So how can residents find out about Educate the Block?
Well, I would say go to the city's website. I would say you could call our office. There's or Newark People's Assembly. There's a lot of ways that you can find out about it.
Anything else you would like to add, Mayor, on any of the topics?
No, I just think we're coming around the curve here, and people should go get vaccinated. And the more we vaccinated, the safer we are. The safer we are, the quicker we can get back to being outside the way we want to be.
Thank you, Mayor. That's all we have time for this episode. Thank you, everyone, for watching.